Hey y'all, back again with another Life After Lockup review. I don't know if it's the seasons or what, but I just feel like every show that I review or even watch for the most part, it's just steady declining. Like it just does not give like it's supposed to give, or at least give like it start. It's like everything just getting real, meh. So I'll admit, with Life at the Lockup, like I halfway be paying attention because it just don't be keeping me. So the two episodes here, we got season 5, episode 18 and 19. Start with 18, deleted but not forgotten. We didn't see Brittany and Key Rock this episode, so we're gonna start with Chevelle and Quaylin. This episode, their scenes start with Chevelle having a conversation with her daughter Maila, and Maila don't want to go to the wedding. She was like, oh, because you don't want to see us kiss. And then she like made a face. She was like, well, maybe I could do a handshake and demonstrate this little handshake for him. She was like, you don't even know if he brushed his teeth. I said, kids be so silly because, yes, I'm sure she knows if he brushes his teeth. Y'all live together. So she asked him, how are you about him being your stepdad? And Maila has this really vulnerable moment with her mama saying, well, what if something happens to you? I want you to be my mama. Like she's not thinking of it as a whole family unit. She's just thinking like, well, if something happened to you and you can't be my mama no more, he gotta be my daddy. And I don't know about that. She says she doesn't want to call him dad anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, she was calling him dad, but she don't want to anymore. And not to say that this little girl can't have her own feelings and emotions and, be swayed from this or that. But I'm really wondering if Chevelle's mama be bad-mouthing Quaylin around her and it's making Maila feel a way about Quaylin. Or maybe even the kids at school, mentioning that, oh, he used to cheat on your mom. The kids is crazy. They know you on TV. They gonna pick on you. So I'm really wondering what has contributed to Maila no longer wanting to call Quaylin daddy and just kind of being a little uneasy about it. So Chevelle says she doesn't want to tell him what Maila said. Well, they have an argument. They end up having an argument about it because he asks her later on about the adoption, and she just plays it off like, well, I'm having second thoughts about it. And he's like, what you mean you having second thoughts? Her daddy not in her life. I'm the one that's here. Why wouldn't I adopt her? And he is super offended, y'all. It was just weird how upset he was, because it's like, why are we so mad about this if she's having second thoughts, especially if you know that Maila's biological dad isn't just gonna willingly give up his parental rights, and it could be expensive, and y'all ain't got the money. Y'all mamas already done led on to y'all not really having it like that and expecting them to pay for the wedding. So wedding on top of adoption costs, on top of lawyers and stuff like that, I just found it odd how upset he got. We didn't have no Eris and Cameron this episode. Next, we got Taylor and Chance, y'all. Chance tells Taylor about his payment arrangement that he's going to have for Zach because Zach gave him the money to pay Bobo back. So he's going to work for Zach until he pay off the debt. He takes her in that old behind limo for a date. And she's just kind of like, how much is this? It's free. Oh, okay, well, that's in our budget. So she gets in there, and you can tell she's just kind of like, dang, this thing, oh. At one point while they riding along, she said, did the tire just fall off? He's like, nah, girl, this thing is a tank. And, it's fine. Ain't nothing going to happen to it. So as they're riding, he basically tries to ask her if they should buy the limo as an investment opportunity. No, we're not buying this old limo. You tripping. So he takes her to like this little Philly cheesesteak little burger spot, and they sit at the trunk. They sit at the trunk, y'all, and just kind of eat and talk. And, she's like, okay, I'm glad we had our little date night or whatever, whatever. Well, how things quickly change. Because next we see Taylor is putting Chance out. She said he was at work all day, and then when he got home, he came home and went through her phone. So she went through his. And she said that, she kind of figured something was up because they haven't been like this for a while. So she's wondering what's going on. Goes through the phone log. He has 170 messages from that day with one person. So she's like, oh, you're clearly cheating. But on the phone, he done deleted all the text messages. So she's just like, oh, okay. He claims that he thought he was texting Taylor as a catfish. He's saying that, Taylor has done this before where she's made fake email accounts to make fake numbers or whatever so that she can catfish me. My first mind is Chance is clearly on that stuff, and I want Taylor to be done for good. So he talks about how they got to arguing because at this current point of them being interviewed, he's at work. He said he left after throwing his own phone in the toilet. Not taking it with him, throwing it in the toilet. You just seem so guilty. So she says that, she had already took down the number that he was texting. It was on the phone log anyway. She calls to see who it is. Baby, plot twist, it's a man. It's a man on the phone. And not just any man. The town slore, apparently. Like, they know he be sleeping with everybody. It's this man on the daggone phone. So she said that night, Chance had broke into the house to get some of his stuff and took her laptop so he can go through her laptop. He downloaded all the stuff off her laptop and claims that, she dirty, she wrong, you dirty, right? You dirty, right? She was like, worry about your boyfriend. He keeps trying to paint this picture as if Taylor is cheating on him. And so it's just kind of like, all right, okay, Chance. Nobody really believes it. Taylor is trying to hold down working 4 kids, this household, and making sure that you don't spend up the rest of the little money she got. I truly don't see where she would have time to cheat. I truly don't. And even if she was texting somebody, like, you've been cheating on her since day one, so what did you expect her to do? Next, we have Justine and Michael. Like, they're still in, Rhode Island? Is it Rhode Island, Connecticut? Wherever they at. They where his family at. They where they from. Michael's family cooks a big Dominican and American breakfast. Justine is feeling bad because, she don't want the kids to feel like she's taking him away when they move to Vegas. He tells the family that they moving. Everybody is like crickets. And then his son want to come too. He tells his son, in a perfect world, yeah, you guys will be there too. I'm going to ask your mom. So they're like, you didn't even, talk to their moms about this? You just made the decision first? And he's just like, yeah, I just made the decision. It's what's best for us. It's what's best for my career. He's like 40 trying to be a rapper. His daughter cries. And he's like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? His sister said, what do you mean what's wrong? She's sad that you're going to be leaving her again. Don't ask her what's wrong. He said that we coming to visit them once a month, and I want them to come visit us once a month. This is so unrealistic, y'all, because one, y'all ain't got the money like that. We can already see that y'all ain't got the money like that to be traveling once a month. Nor do you have the means. Y'all got a new baby. Who finna be traveling once a month with a new baby? And then you got like 3-4 kids. Who finna be paying for 3-4 kids flights or bus or whatever to come down there once a month? It was just so unrealistic, especially with a newborn. I hate that he just pumping his kids' heads up to like for them to not feel a type of way, but clearly they gonna feel a type of way. So they packing and they plan to have the baby in Vegas. She's talking about, she done scheduled a C-section, all these things like that. He gotta go see his parole officer. Y'all, his transfer is rejected because he forgot to sign a form. I said, look at God. Look at God making you stay put, because you don't need to be going nowhere right now. You need to try to be as close to your kids as possible and spend more time with your kids. You went, I think they said he hadn't seen his kids in 6 months. You went 6 months without seeing your kids, and y'all was on the same coast. I think it was like Rhode Island and Connecticut, and you hadn't seen your kids in 6 months. But you think that you're going to see your kids every month when you move to Vegas, twice a month when you move to Vegas. So that was God sitting him down, so maybe he can see his kids a little bit more. He's kind of freaking out because he's like, we spent $10K, as far as moving trucks and everything to move from where we at to Vegas. I'm going to have to pay the mortgage on the new house that we're not even going to be in, and rent on the current house that we're in. Justine calls him to see how everything is going, and he lies like it went good. My thing is, though, he sounds so depressed when he was saying this stuff to her that she should have picked up that he was lying, because he was just like, yeah, just retarded. No Sharon and Sean this episode. Lindsay and Blaine. Lindsay and Miley, she said she likes it there, but she said she likes it there. She didn't really have no rebuttal. She liked it there. Lindsay tells Miley, her daughter, that she proposed to Blaine. Lindsay is shocked. She's like, isn't the man supposed to propose? Are you sure you want to do this? Because if he didn't do it, is it really right? I said, not the kids reading. Miley only like 14, mind you. Is it really right? Miley then says, I just feel like you can do better. Yikes. And she's like, when do you plan on getting married? Soon, like within a month. A month? Are you pregnant, Mom? No, I'm not pregnant. She ends up telling Blaine that she wants to be married in a month and she wants a ring. Her ring finger is still empty. I got a ring. It's just over there. I don't feel like putting it on. Her ring finger is still empty. She needs her ring finger occupied. He was like, well, I don't want to get you some mess that's going to turn your finger green. And of course, he's feeling rushed. So he said, so we're going to have a baby quick too? She says no. He's like, well, why not? We're going to get married quick. We might as well go right into having a baby. She ain't with that. She actually goes to get her IUD checked. But she ain't told him that she even has an IUD, that she even got an IUD, y'all. So I'm sure that's going to be the conversation, probably a little fussy fight all in itself. We ain't have no Joy No Me in red this episode. Melissa and Louie. He goes on an interview at the gym. He's telling them, I trained people in jail, which is cracking me up because, like I said, you need a certificate. You need certifications to be training people. You don't just wake up one day and tell them do these exercises. The owner thinks he's a nice guy, but he's unsure about his background. He said, I could trust you, but I don't trust heroin. So if I know that, you used to do drugs or whatever, and I just, you can pick it back up one day, start acting crazy, all this goes crazy. So he goes and he tells Melissa, she said, so it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. But they got to get ready for this housewarming party with all their family coming over. So Melissa's brother-in-law, he got Louie back. I can appreciate him being realistic. He said he got to start somewhere. He's been here 2 days. And he starts acting like Melissa, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, nagging like she does. She basically feels like, well, he should have had job interviews lined up before he even got out here. He should have had them lined up. Next, Donna arrives, and of course she defends her baby Louie. Well, Melissa's still saying what she's saying. He should have had them lined up. Melissa's sister, I can't stand Melissa's sister. She's worse than Melissa, to be honest. Melissa's sister is being so judgmental and just including herself on stuff that don't involve her. She takes Donna to the side to tell her about her concerns well, I'll never trust Louis because he was on drugs. And did you know he was on drugs? How long you know he was on drugs? And I will never trust him. And I just think my sister can do better. And da 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 da. Just doing the absolute most. If I was gonna, I would have cussed her out, to be quite frank. I really would have. Because this ain't your place or your business. And even if you felt like that, the nerve of you to pull his mama to the side to tell her how you feel. You keep that between you and your sister. And maybe Louis. Maybe Louis. But bring his mama into it, doing the most. Okay, girl. Bye. Not like we're looking for your approval anyway. So she comes over back to the group, and she's still talking mess about Louis. Donna's like, he's a different person now. Give him a break. She's, taking up for her baby. Melissa gonna say, well, you should go on his interviews with him to speak so highly of him, basically. Next, the parents start getting to arguing, basically, because Melissa's dad is like, well, if Louis breaks her heart, I'm going to be looking for him. Donna said, well, if Melissa breaks my son's heart, then she ain't got to look for me. I ain't going to be doing the one, but I'm going to send somebody. Yeah, I'm going to send somebody. So they back there threatening each other back and forth. And eventually, the dad goes and smokes a cigarette. And I think Donna went outside to go talk to him. And they kind of smoothed it out. They just like, look, we are both, protective parents, and we just want to make sure our kids, they don't be in no mess. But at this point, we basically family, so let's just act like it. And so they get back in there, and they're like, yeah, the convo went good. And the dad jokes and said, because they talking about how, they fighting like a married couple. Yeah, we should be married in about 3 months. She said, Louis said, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to take care of Melissa. If I got to have 3 jobs, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to take care of Melissa. Like I said, Louis seems like a very stand-up guy. He seems very solid in what he wants out of life. He knows it's going to be difficult to get there because of his record, but he's not giving up. He's set on finding a job and doing what needs to be done. So Donna pulls him to the side. She gives him this bracelet. It's got a cute little message on there. And she's crying when she gives him the bracelet. She tells him, I will sell my house and come back to New Jersey if needed. And I'm truly surprised that wasn't her first thought, because she only moved from New Jersey to Georgia to be closer to Louis, because that's where Louis was locked up, right? So I'm surprised that Donna ain't already been like, all right, let me put this house on the market so I can go back to Jersey where all my family at anyway. Because she was staying with family out there, so apparently all that family's still out there, so that kind of surprised me. Then she goes and kind of smooths it out with Melissa as well. Well, Melissa kind of smooths it out with her. They come to an agreement that we ain't got to be enemies. We both love Louis. We both want to see the best for him. Let that be that. So the next episode 19, Mom's Behaving Badly. This episode, we do see Brittany and Key-Rock. Key-Rock is nervous about meeting Abuela, and he starts making assumptions again. You can tell that Key-Rock is very insecure when it comes to Brittany's family, because he has too much working against him in his eyes. Like, I'm trans, I've been to jail, and I'm black. So do she not want to meet me because I'm from the hood? Does she not want to meet me because I'm from the hood? Brittany gets offended. She's like, don't talk about my mama like that. It's only because you're trans. It has nothing to do with you being black, nothing to do with you being from the hood. She gets to screaming. She gets very upset. She's like, if y'all keep talking about my mama, y'all ain't getting nothing else from me. And we ain't seen that much more of them this episode, so I'm guessing, she stood on business. But in this conversation, she starts yelling at Kira. She said, you mad that my mama don't like you? She don't even like me. She don't even like me. So to think that she gonna like somebody that's an extension of me, chill out. And he's like, well, you never told me that. And she's crying, and he's just kind of feeling bad for everything. Like I said, I like Brittany and Key-Rock. Brittany a little spoiled. Key-Rock is a smidge controlling, but they like 20-something years old. They don't need to be trying to get married. They just need to be trying to figure out dating and being together on the outside in the real world. But whatever. Next, we got Chevelle and Quaylon. Chevelle got all the ladies together, Maila, her mama, his mama, and they go shopping for a wedding dress. Her mom said, because his mom goes back into, so you still ain't gonna pay for nothing? No. I'm still not paying for nothing. Her mom says that, she might pay for the food because she like to eat. How your daughter gonna feel that you don't even want to pay for the wedding? I'm the groom's mom. Traditionally, we don't pay. I contribute a little, but you supposed to be paying for the wedding. Like I said, they just gonna butt heads about everything. Chevelle tries on a couple of little tight fitted dresses. They weren't like hoochie mama, just little revealing dresses. She said, I got this BBL, I'm gonna show it off. His mama wants her to try on a more traditional dress. The one thing the mamas do agree on is they feel like they should wait. They don't need to be getting married so quickly. She picks a dress. She looks really pretty in the dress. So the mamas kind of talk and they bury the hatchet while they're at the dress shop. Later on at the bridal shower, his mom is like, I got concerns about this. Well, okay, it don't matter. It's happening. Her mom, I don't think he's over the cheating and this, that, and the third. Chevelle gets upset. I'm tired of you, Mom. I'm tired of you always saying this. I'm marrying him. You ain't the one that's got to marry him. Quaylon's mom comes over there. Don't get upset. Don't upset yourself, baby. Come here. Chevelle's mama gets pissed at this. She my daughter. You Quaylon mom. You don't console her. I console her. You Quaylon mama. I'm her mama. Keep my son's name, Mom. Keep my son's name out your mouth. Da-da-da. They arguing. It's just a big old mess. Quaylon walks in like, what's going on here? What is going on here? Still no Eris and Cameron. Next, Taylor and Chance. Taylor has her twin sister Bobby, and her friend Sarah over there telling them what happened with Chance. He still is claiming that it was Taylor because she's created fake accounts before. He's basically like, she's done this before and she's been deceiving me, and I just never thought that she would do this. I mean, yeah, I lied and cheated a little bit in the beginning, but basically, I can't believe she being as deceitful as me. Okay. She sent the kids away to her dad so that when Chance comes over there, they don't gotta see them fighting and hear them yelling and all that stuff. He ends up coming over there 4 hours late to get his stuff and still got her laptop. They done packed his stuff up and threw it on the lawn. So when he comes to see that, he throws the laptop on the lawn. And when he walks in the house, he's like pushing past her. Is this some dude in here? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And Sarah starts going off. Get out. Y'all can talk outside. She don't want you in her house. This her house. Your name is not on the lease. Get out. In a confessional, he's talking about how he wanted to apologize. And this wasn't supposed to happen like this. And he's telling her, well, you got dirt too. You've been talking to somebody too, Taylor. I already know. I went through your laptop. I saw you've been talking to somebody. So I can't see my kids. She's like, I'll let you know. You can figure out when you can see Mason. He's like, only Mason? Yeah, you're not the girl's daddy. They probably really don't even like you because they see how you treat their mama. So I doubt they even want to be around you. And I wouldn't force them to be around him either. They done broke up now. He ain't got money for a hotel, so his friend Tanya gets him a room. He's convinced that they can reconcile. He said, I give it a week. Taylor, please go get a restraining order. But she said she don't want to get a restraining order because she don't want to keep him away from his son. He coming back over there to try to plead his love, I guess. Justine and Michael. He comes home with flowers and tells her that his parole ain't approved. It'll be 30 to 90 days before he can get it approved. And he says that it was a piece of paper that came in the mail that he was supposed to sign and send back, but with them moving and everything, he must have looked over the mail, never opened the mail, didn't get the mail, and he's just kind of beating himself up about that. But y'all, this was stupid of them anyway, because y'all should have waited for his approval before you end your lease, before you buy a house, before you get the movers, before you cancel the doctor, you should have waited on that approval first, because that's the most important piece. You done did everything else, and now this done fell through. So yeah, it was stupid of them anyway. I don't necessarily like Justine and Michael. They got all these kids, and they just don't be putting the kids first. It seems like they don't put the kids first, and they have the nerve to be having another one. So he asks her, okay, you gonna tell the kids? No, I'm not telling the kids. You tell the kids. So he sits all the kids down and tell them that they not moving. They confused. These kids confused AF. Justine mad because they done boxed up everything. Everything boxed up. And that's what the kids said, like, but all our stuff is in boxes. What you mean? And she's mad that she's gonna have to have the baby in Pennsylvania. That's where they at. I think the kids, his kids, are in Rhode Island. They're in Pennsylvania. Her son is confused. Her son is like, I don't even understand. Our stuff is still in boxes, and I'm kind of disappointed because, basically Mike lied to us. Michael lied to us. Her oldest daughter, that's the one that's going off to college in Vegas. She is pissed. She asked her mom, so Mom, how are you about this? And he starts talking. She was like, no, I asked her how she's doing. She's the one having the baby. And so she starts going off basically. So you knew we weren't moving, but you let her cancel the appointment. You let us box up all this stuff. Like, the daughter, she about hate Michael at this point because he playing with her mama life. She got to call and see if they can be able to stay at this house that they've been in, even though they done broke the lease or waited till the lease ran out and didn't renew it. They probably already got people that's coming to move into their house when they leave. So the daughter, being old enough to know what's going on, is pissed, and rightfully so. We see Sarah and Sean next. She's mad at him for spending money on his girlfriend. His girlfriend is the tow truck that he's, trying to use as a business. And I'm like, how dare she be mad at him spending money on the truck when she going to get boobs done and tummy tucks and all this stuff like that? Like, are you slow? Clearly she's slow. So this part, her storyline on this episode is that her older daughter, Abby, her dad has been missing. He's been missing the visitation and missed her birthday. So she speculating that he's back on drugs and she wants to test him. She sets up a meeting for them at like a little coffee shop or something like that, but he does not show up. Next we see Lindsay and Blaine. Blaine tells her that he's been depressed and overwhelmed because she's facing jail time. She basically is like, yeah, I kind of knew he was depressed because, he'd been sleeping a lot and, just really not himself. He tells her that, he found out that he's eligible for a medical marijuana card. She's like, sir, I'm still on probation. We supposed to be sober. You can't be having no medical marijuana card around me and the conditions of me living with you, even though we both, I don't know if they both felons, even though we both been to jail, was that we would be sober and all this stuff. And she's like, we got kids in the house. You can't be bringing this stuff around here and around me. That can mess up my parole. I can go back to jail. Plus, we barely scraping by with the money we got. Where you gonna pay for some weed at? Like, what? She goes off, and I don't really blame her. I get his side of things where it's like, I'm trying to make myself feel better. I'm depressed, but like, it's just not realistic for this situation. So I just bring your phone and try to write with me like that. So this is why I be in the she shed, y'all. Too many disruptions. I'm gonna have to start locking the door on her. So she calls her lawyer. He ain't got no updates about her court case and when her arraignment is gonna be. And she asked him about Blaine having a medical marijuana card. He said yes.